Right back again, chaps and chapesses. As you can see, I've given it a good coat of the old grey primer. I've only had one coat. One coat seems to have done quite well with it. See, it's all done around the backs as well. All in there. It's quite a good primer, that. I said a little bit of mist where you can go over it again with a brush or just thing it in. Not too much. I'm not really bothered about the little bits like that, but generally speaking, it's really taken quite well to the primer. So this is only one coat as well. I thought it was going to take at least two. But as you can see from the rear, obviously I have plans for this for the rear, as you've probably seen on the bench update yesterday's video. So what I'm going to do with this is I bought some overlay paint again, which is the surface primer seems to be really good. So I bought the Rottenburn German Red Brown, which is 74605 as the base coat for the stonework, for the bricks. And what I did yesterday was I tried, you know, the little pieces that we had left over, I tried and did a few tests to see which came out quite well, and I came up with these. Ooh, obviously I'm not lit with it. So I've got the brickwork, quite nice. I've got a bit of mortar in between there, damaged bits and whatever. There's a bit of dry brushing on there as well, which was kindly told to me by Neil the Mad Welshman. Just give it a little brush of a grey white, which I did, just to dull down some of the paint work. So now I've got to that stage with them, I can bring them up a little bit, put it behind me. Something dark, maybe behind me four might be better. Could maybe do it behind me four. As you can see, I've got the different texture and colours going on with the brickwork. Obviously there was different textures and different colours in the bricks on there, so that's come out quite well. I'm quite pleased with them. So that's what hopefully I'll be turning all this into. So I'll be priming that. There's no point in watching me priming the red on there again. So we'll put that back over to the side for now, and we'll bring in the T34. So that's what I'll be priming that, and then once it's primed I'll be getting back to you. But in the meantime we can have a look at the T34 to see where we are and what we then do next with that. Right, so let's bring her in. As you can see, let's just come in a little bit. There we go. We never get into the bloody thing, can we? As you can see, it's still got the nice modulation on there. Let me just bring the light down onto it. Yeah, still got the nice colour modulation on the front and around everywhere really. So what I'm going to do this time, instead of using oil paints this time, I just thought I'd have try something new. I got these MIG filters. They're all filters. I don't think they even make them anymore. So I'm going to do this. It's a filter, brown for dark green. So what I'm going to do with this is, like I did on the Sherman. Is it the Sherman? I did the filters, yeah. Is I'm just going to pick out individual panels. Like this is obviously going to be slightly darker, so it's got to be more in the shadows more than anything else. So what I'll do with these is I just tend to try and pour a bit into there and move it out of the way, because I've already had one accident this morning. You don't need a lot on your brush, so I'll take most of that off. So things like inside, you know, inside here where it's a bit darker. You don't need a lot. You're just picking out individual panels, perhaps maybe behind the behind the hatch as well, and perhaps if it will run around that weld seam on the machine gun. And there's a couple of little plates up here, I'll just probably do that as well. It's just a subtle change in the, you know, not a massive change, just a very subtle change in the colours again. As you can see, I'm hardly using it, much of it at all. More like a pin wash, to be honest, but not quite. Where the shadow, where the turret's going to be, underneath there. Right, I'll probably put a bit in to the engine grills as well. I'll probably use a dark wash for that, but just help darken it slightly. Maybe just a little bit on the back panel as well. Not a lot. Just a subtle change again. I think I'll do the whole panel actually. And again, just on there. Again, just in the panel there. Maybe not do the same on this side. I don't want it symmetrical, you want it random. So let's do a little bit on there. Right, so we see them plates. Maybe behind the headlight. And there the horn. Maybe on the just round the cowling for the exhausts. See, I'm not putting a lot on. I don't want it pooling, which is I'm trying to keep away from. And again, this hinge on here. Maybe just on that part there, top of the just a little bit on these exhaust on the air as well. The rear fenders. Too much on there, so I'll push it off. Put a bit down here, so you can't see, can you? I'm just picking out, you know, random places where to put this one. Maybe underneath the actual fuel as well. I think bit of shadow underneath there. Not all the way along, just a little bit. Gradually let it fade out. I'll do the same on the other side, I think, as well, where it's just a bit of a shadow. Let it fade out again naturally. I'll take it to the end on this one. There we go again, let's just dry brush that off there. so we can that's better. That's better. Maybe a little bit on the side panels here. And there's got a little slight recess. I'll put on both of them actually. These are slightly different on this side, but I'll put a little bit on this one. Too much on that brush there. Sorry, can't see again, can you? Just a little. Just a bit more on the brush there. So this is the first time I've sort of tried these MIGs. I just thought I'd try them because they were basically being sold off on eBay. I thought, well, I may as well give them a whirl, see what they're like. What do you think of it? 11 quid including postage, which I thought wasn't too bad for 3 filters. I know I can make my own, but I just thought I'd give them a go. Too much on that. And we'll just just filter it down, feather it down so it starts to get lightened again on the bottom. Just work the rest of this brush off. I'll put some underneath the fuel drums as well. Sorry, you can't quite see that, can you? There we go. I'll just put some underneath the and there again, just gradually feather it back so you get a natural sort of blending of it from the lower hole to the upper hole. The same again on the other one. Can we see? There we go. So just take the excess off my brush and just gradually feather it up the sides, and then just put a touch in the centre of these. And on the front again, let me just handle that slightly. And just put a bit in the recesses of the fuel drums. Let's pop that back on there so I'm not handling it much more. As you can see, I don't know if the camera is quite picking that up or not. The subtle changes already in it. You've got the different variations, the colours, the greens, the slightly darker parts. But, you know, I don't. Each to their own, I suppose. But I like to see different shades because obviously, depending on the theatre of war where they are, the paint is going to fade differently. So I think I might just leave, just do a panel there, and just there again, just gradually fade it down. You see, I'm hardly using anything. Again, it's just getting in the recesses where I think it would be darker. Obviously make sure there's no pooling, which there isn't at the moment. You might just go along this edge here, just where the rivets are, and then again just, if you can see that again, just gradually. Goes quite a long way, so I did this bit before. Almost like dry brushing now. So I've got nothing on the brush hardly. Maybe again from this side slightly. Yeah. It's a bit. Oh, the centre of the ring goes there, the turret. Oh. And again, just to cause a bit of a shadow. You can see it's starting to dry now. You're getting them subtle changes now. The greens. Right, so let's wash my brush and pop that back into the jar. Right. So what I'll probably use now is oh sorry, I didn't even tell you what number it was with I think you can still buy them on the internet. I got I think it was these from Model Hobbies, I think it was. Sorry, the filter is a brown for dark green, and the number is, let me find the number. There we go, there's the filter number. There we go, match back. It's F245, so filter 245, and that's the brown for dark green. So I'll just clean that lid up. And I'm going to use a bit of this as well, which is green for khaki and olive green, olive drab, which is. Come on, F420. So I'll just give that a shake and bring. The camera's not working. Why is the camera being a bit naff today? It needs to be lowered down, doesn't it? There we go. That wants to be brought. There we go. Yeah, so there again, I'll just give it a bit of a shake. I've put the marine bolts in there again, just to give them a good mix. I don't know how long I've been standing on shelves or whatever. So just give that brush a bit of a wipe. Give us a bit of a shake. Should be enough. And there again. That's enough of that. Just give the neck a wipe. Don't use anything. Pop that over there. Yeah, so I think what we'll do with this part now is I'll just go on top of these. You know, some of the tops of the field drums, and gradually fade it down again to the brown one again. Maybe just a bit around this panel here. It's just on the rear again. Take a little bit out. little bit in around this hatch. Again, just gradually filter it down again. Nice bit on the top of these. Storage boxes. So what I'll do is I'll carry on with this, and when it's dry I'll get back to you with the IO as well being sprayed with the red brown. So we'll be back shortly. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you soon. Right, back again, ladies and gentlemen. It's another. I'll do another sort of what I've been doing on that last part. We'll start off with the diorama. Like I see, I've got it. I've sprayed it with that Voucher German red brown, and it's, you know, it looks a bit vivid in this. In that, let's come back out a little bit, eh? There we go. It looks a bit vivid at the moment. It's I can assure you it's a lot sort of darker than that than you can see on the screen. So the paint took to it no problem at all. It really, even the undercoat, just one coat, and it's come up really well. I say this is all going to be sorted here, but I'm just going to concentrate on the brickwork. With the small pieces of the brickwork that was, you know, left, I spared in this, and I've come out with these. You can see they look a lot better, and all I've done with them is used from the Mad Welshman said just put a little dry brushing of white over the bricks, which I did, and a little bit of grey, and then I filled all the cracks in with brick dust, which was I've had for quite a while. Is that the one? No, it isn't brick rust. It's light slate grey, which was the Voucher 73113 light slate grey. So that's all I've done with those. So I've done the other one as well. So hopefully I can get them to finish and look like that as well, the brickwork. Maybe if it was put against the wall, you can see the difference, the contrasts and colours, but it'll end up like that, which I'm quite pleased with. So that'll be the next step on here, is to do the same again with this. Dry brush it first with white and then a bit of grey, and then we'll use the slate grey and a bit of X20 to put the mortar in. So that's the next job on there, is that. So I'll be starting that probably sometime today. As now I've actually got to the bench. It's nearly a week since I've actually got to the bench with one thing and another. But I've missed doing the modelling. It was through no fault of anybody else's. It was just a busy couple of days and a few weeks. Sorry, a busy week. So that's what I've finished on there. So I'll put this away and we'll bring out the T34. As you can remember from last time, I was doing the filters, which I've done, and obviously they've dried since that time. Since that week ago. Let's just bring the camera in a little bit now, I think. Bring this back slightly. There we go. You can see the variations in the colours there all the way around. It was dark in the shadows and things like that. I'm quite pleased how it's come out, that part. So on the rear you can see again the contrast in all the colours. Just come out nice. Quite pleased with this. Excuse me, I'll just have to answer the door. Sorry about that, it was just a postman, a little parcel for me. I'll open it after I've done this small video. Yeah, so I would say the contrast has really come out really well. So the next job I'm going to do is I'm going to use the oils again. I only got 4 colours. I've got Van Dyke brown, the sap green, white and lamp yellow. That's all I'm going to use, just them 4. So let's find my brush, whichever one I use. Where's it gone? There we are, that's the one I use. So let's get a bit of thinners as well. 2 little bits. I was in the Bob Ross thinners again, which is which I showed you last time. Real, you know, instead of using the little pots, this will last for quite a while. I think it was about £12. I think it was about £12 on the internet. I only want a little bit in each. Oop, a bit too much maybe there. A bit for the far too much. Let's just put that away. Right, so what I'll do first is I'll do the a turret first, so we'll just move. Oh, before we go any further actually, before I go any further, as you know, with the diodes I'm building for this small company, the GiroDesign.com, for the German company. And yesterday I was just sitting in the house, me and the wife, knock on the door, and there was a little parcel for us. I didn't realise I was getting anything, so I was very surprised when I got the letter from the guy who owns a company called Tristan, a German company, and he sent me a little letter about me reaching the 500 and hoping to do well to get then to the 1,000. And also he sent me, for all my subscribers, if they're interested in buying anything, he's given me a voucher, so for 10% off. So all the code is, as you can see, is Greg500, and that will get you 10% off anything on the site. So it expires in November, end of November, so you've got a good month. So like I said again, it's Greg500, which I thought was very nice of him to send that, and you know, get a little bit of discount for you. So it's very, 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 very nice and very kind. So thank you very much, Tristan. That was a lovely surprise. And he also sent me these and a couple of bags of Haribo as well. He sent me, which we devoured. So I got these sent as well. These are the crates in various sizes. You can, let me just, I'll just do one at a time so you can see them. There's a nice detail on the crates, and that's a longer one. We've got different, say, varying sizes. Nice wood texture again. They'll take a nice. There's quite a lot in here, and they're all varying size, like I say, with different. There's a nice big wide one as well. So there's quite a lot in the bag. I haven't counted them, but there must be at least, I would say, a good 25 to 30, maybe even more, of the stowage boxes, which is unfortunately I can't quite read German. Yeah, but that's where it comes in. It's not on the site anyhow, so they'll be certain to get used. So thank you very much, Tristan. That was a really, really nice surprise. So top man. Right, so let's get back to the T34. I say I'm going to start off with the turret, I think. So I shall just move that out the way. And all I'm going to do to start with is just moisten my brush. Let's just put them there with a bit of thinners. And I'm going to use the Van Dyke brown. Just take a little bit. See if you can see well. This has been here a good 10 hours now. All the oils have gone out of it. So what I'm going to, if I can get a little. Let me see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the Van Dyke brown, and I'm going to just cut the dots all round the turret. Let me just go around the side as well. I don't want any other colour on there at the moment. So I've just gone them. It's got all it can. Maybe the camera can't quite pick the. Let me just see. If it makes any better. All I've done is put some dots, random dots, right around the top of the hatch. So I'm just going to leave them for a moment. I'll just take the brown off my brush. So in the meantime, I can along the edges, I'm going to just take a bit of white. There's a couple of, maybe a bit too much on the brush there. Not too much, just a little couple of dots around the edges. Again, just one or two. Doesn't take much. I'll probably put a bit more. Actually, I should have put a bit of brown actually on the and on the actual. Can't quite get underneath to see them at the moment, so piece on there. So just like those. And along the edges again, I'm just going to use a bit of the sap green. Not a lot. You don't need a lot. Right, so we'll leave that to the side for the moment, and we'll concentrate a bit on the hull. So there again, I'm gonna, around these sort of engine cover hatch, I'm just gonna okay, around here where it's, you know, where the shadows are going to be on the from the turret. Excuse the noise in the background, just me burning a disc of DVD. Let's just clean the brush again, and then again we'll just dab a bit of green on, just a couple of drops of green, not a lot on this one.
Operation has been completed.
Oh, there we go, been completed. And again, there's a couple of dots in and one brown. And we can leave them for a while as well. So on the rear here, we're going to, let's clean my brush again. We can use from the rear, we'll just green. In the brush. Bit of brown. A bit of the Naples yellow this time along the top. And then a touch of white just along the top as well. Okay, so we shall just put that to the side at the moment. Oh, I'll leave that bit for now. I'll do the part later, so we can bring the turret back in for now. And what I'm going to do, I can find my brush. I think, is it this one? I think this is the one. Is just get a bit of thinners on me on this brush. Take most of it off, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to stipple. Stipple the actual, just the brown to start with. Just stipple it in until I get what I want. I can't quite see from that. And again, just stipple it in. Oh, it takes a bit just working. You've got quite a bit of working time with the brown, well, with any oil paint really. Just keep working it. I'm not touching the green or the white yet. I'm just concentrating on the brown. Work it in how you want it. You can always take it off. I just want a gradual shading down to the front on this one. Okay, I'm quite with that. There's a bit of brown round on this side, obviously. I'll just keep working the brown in how I want it. Round in the rear. It's just a stippling effect, just to get the colour and how you want it actually to look. Yours are probably different from anybody else's. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and I'm just sort of showing you the way I do it. Probably the same as most people's. I missed the cupola, didn't I? Forgot to put any coupe on the cupola. Let's just take a bit off here. Let's just. I'll have to go back onto the cupola. I missed the cupola. Never mind, it's not a problem. Just go back in there later on. Sorry, you can't see, can you? I'm just moving it about how I want it. Not much thinner on my brush at all. It's mainly the paint. Okay, so with that. So I'm just going to now work in the white and the green. It's a bit messy, but it will come together, I can assure you. Just gives you another contrast on top of the modulation. That's all this does. And again, just stipple it. Remember to keep cleaning your brush, and just take most of the thinner off. You don't need a lot when you're doing this. Just moving the paint about how you want it. too much on that. Let's just move it about. Just the rear now. Here we go. Just there we go. Sorry, you can't see, can you? Keep forgetting. Just go around and tidy it up. So what I'll do is I'm not quite happy with that piece actually. I need to move it down a bit more. So as you can see, it's obviously not dry yet, but you can, let me just so I can move the light towards that. It's a bit shiny, but you can see there's a bit of where I've done the oil work on the brown and just gradually faded it into the cupola. I need to do the cupola because I missed out to do that, and the gradual fading out of the green and the white. But what I'm going to do with this after I've done all this is on the sides I'm going to be using the yellow, the white and the sap green. Well, in fact, we're using all of them, putting the dots on each, and then bringing them down again, down the sides, just to do like a, you know, like a grime effect, really. Just all little beads be coming down the sides. It's a bad light after today for some reason. Well, you can see the colours and see the mantle cover at the front as well. You can just see how they're changing the colour, even though it's wet. You can see the changing the colours there on the top. Just where the crew sort of get in and out, it's going to be more dirtier. This is just sort of a shadow coat more than anything else, really, and just tonal variation again from the modulation. So I'll stop here and call this end of update 3. I shall carry on with the pin washing of the oils on the tank on the T34, and then I'll move on to the diorama again with the brickwork. Once I've completed that, I'll be back. So this is Greg signing off, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a nice day.